Hey everybody, Just Sports with John. Got an exciting topic today, the one you guys have voted on and have been waiting for. Jordan versus LeBron. So I'm going to approach this in two ways. So the first one being Jordan actually versus LeBron. If both of them are in their prime and playing a game of basketball, who would win? So first of all, let me say this right off the bat. We're talking about two different eras, two different types of players. So this is a toughie. And what I think is you got to realize you got Jordan, who is more of a point guard, shooting guard, and you got LeBron, who's more of a small forward, power forward. And LeBron is quite a bit bigger, quite a bit heavier, but he was also, I think, conditioned, so to speak, for the NBA. Like everything he was going for, and I mean, he knew, like, from early age and all that, he was going to try to be in the NBA and all that, and wanted to be Jordan and that kind of thing. So he was conditioned for the NBA. And a lot of people forget, like, Jordan was kind of like a runt. Like, he was very skinny, very small. Had a very frail kind of frame at first. If you ever go back and look at the early '80s Jordan, I mean, he was, high flying, fast, kind of skinny athlete. Really needed to develop into his body more. But again, we're taking both these guys at their prime, at their peak, playing against each other one on one. In that scenario, if they were to play, say, 10 games, I would see it actually being like 6-4 LeBron. And I know some of you guys that know me know are like, what? But no, seriously, I mean, body type, the physicality, and again, we're just talking about a one-on-one game versus those two. And by prime and by peak, I mean the smarts come into play with this too. They're both using their best basketball IQ and all that. And I think eventually LeBron could realize that he could take Jordan down low and score on him. I think LeBron has enough talent to do that, and I just think the body type of Jordan would not be able to eventually hold up to that. The only question for me that comes into play on a one-on-one matchup is Jordan a little bit more clutch than LeBron, and that's why I say like a 6-4. It might even be tied 5-5, but I'm not going to sit here and give you guys a tie. I think that's stupid. So I'd actually have to lean LeBron in a one-on-one matchup in both their primes. But I think if Jordan was on a team and LeBron was on a team, and you could like clone all the players into the same supporting cast for each of them, I would go with Jordan's team. I think Jordan had a better team concept all in all throughout his career. I think that's why they won, the 6 championships. And don't kid yourself, it would have been 8 had Jordan not retired. It would have been, period, hands down. So there's that. Plus, I think, I personally think that era that Jordan played in was a lot tougher. You had hand checking for the longest time. You had less foul calls, I think, during that time. You had a lot harder fouls during that time. You just had a lot of things that did not open up the floor like it does today in the NBA. Now, switching to the second piece of this, who do I think is the better GOAT, the better greatest player of all time in the NBA? I think it's Jordan. I've watched both their careers, and I think all in all, again, a lot of it has to do with the era. I think a lot of it has to do with their backgrounds. Like I said, Jordan wasn't necessarily conditioned for this as LeBron had been. LeBron had a better idea what he needed to do to prepare for the NBA. I don't think Jordan quite had the same setup, had the same thing going for him. He spent basically his first 4 to 6 years in the NBA learning about that, whereas LeBron had that advantage of coming in and knowing he wanted to be the greatest and how to do that. So I think when you're looking at greatest of all time, like, much like Tom Brady had to push and strive and build his talents up, Jordan did that. And to me, that makes him the greatest because he didn't have all that naturally. He didn't have all that being built up going forward. He had to work at it, and it's hard to argue him not being the greatest of all time. So that to me just adds to that. I think too, when you look at things in comparison to both these guys, um, Jordan. Jordan did a lot of things behind the scenes. He'd smoke, he'd drink, he'd go out, stay up late at night. I mean, there's countless stories of him just kind of being almost like a party guy. Um, you know, Golfing for 8 hours the day before a game, all this stuff, and I don't hear LeBron doing it. LeBron has been more of like the family man throughout his career, taking really good care of his body and all that. And as much as that probably shouldn't be a knock against LeBron, I mean, for somebody like Jordan to do all that and then come and play the way he did in the games, it's just phenomenal to be able to. I couldn't imagine, like, having been a coach and having been trying to be an athlete, I can imagine going out and drinking and doing these benders and all night poker games and all this stuff, and then like going out and dropping 30 points on somebody like the Knicks during that era of getting all beat up and stuff. So, again, what Jordan was doing with his body and stuff too. I mean, I think of it like today, like, man, imagine if Jordan had the disciplined routine and not gone out and do it. Man, I wonder how much more greater he could have been, had he not treated his body up the way he did and stuff. So, I don't know. In the end, all things said, I think Jordan to me is the better GOAT in the NBA. But, the one thing I will give LeBron is I think in a one-on-one physical matchup, out of 10 games, I'd go 6-4 with him there. But greatest of all time, LeBron versus Jordan. Overall, I would take Jordan. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Stay tuned for more videos from me. Don't forget to subscribe over here. Don't forget that. And then make sure you go on Facebook and join up with the group. And please share this, guys. Share the Facebook link, share the YouTube videos, and let's get more people subscribing on here, okay? All right, see you guys.